Hey guys, and welcome to the 2017 Volvo XC60, the old model, not the new model. Just to clarify, so you guys don't comment down below, this is the 2017 XC60 Generation 1, not the new model that's coming out later this year. So now with that out of the way, I want to get right to the point because this engine is really impressive. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder, for God's sake. It shouldn't pull this strong. It shouldn't feel this quick. The bad out of the way first. So it's not the best sounding, and you can tell on this old platform that the sound deadening and the refinement isn't the best, because the T5 engine, which is basically the same engine as this without the supercharger, is much more quiet and much more refined in the V90 cross country I drove a few months back. But other than that, well, the gearbox, the software, the response is not the best. Again, I've driven this 8-speed in other Volvos which have been tuned and programmed much better. But other than that, this engine is really strong. It's really powerful. It just pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls, and that's 6,200 revs. It just pulls harder and harder the higher you get in the RPM range, and that's really impressive considering that this is a turbocharged engine. It really does feel like a big naturally aspirated 6-cylinder, the way it just pulls and gains speed. Another thing that really impresses me about this car is the ride. The ride in this car has a refinement, a suppleness that you don't find in the 90 series Volvos. How do you explain that? Well, 9 years on the market is how you explain that. The engineers have had 9 years to refine and improve this car after it was launched. Does it ride better than the 90 series cars? Well, in some cases it does, in some cases it doesn't. But overall, with the components they've used here on a 9-year-old platform, the ride is really impressive, and I could live with this ride any day of the week. It's that good. But also the body control has had 9 years of improvements, and the steering. So this is an electric steering rack that actually has better feel, better feedback, and better weighting than the 90 series Volvos, in my opinion. There's just more life in this steering. So why have Volvo not put this steering into the new XC90, V90 and S90? Well, I have no idea. Back in the city, coming to a standstill, red light, and this transmission is just really weird. It's not smooth at all in city driving. It's not predictable. It's just completely random in its behavior. Sometimes when you step off the brake pedal, the car just jumps forward. Sometimes it reacts completely normal, and sometimes there's like a half-a-second delay. No telling when. It's just completely random. And the same is when you brake for a stoplight till a standstill. Sometimes it just jumps, lurks, jerks, and doesn't brake linear at all. I've not had this issue in any other Volvo I've driven with the 8-speed Ace, and you can find in this transmission. So stopping for a red light here, brake pedal is in the same place, but so there it just doesn't brake normally. So I had to apply more and more pressure. It acts like a bad programmed DSG at times. It's just really weird, and have not had that issue in any other Volvo with this transmission at all. Diesel, petrol, or hybrid. guys have commented on my previous video on the Volvo XC60 as well as the S60 Polestar about how dated this interior looks. And I must say, apart from that small infotainment screen, I do disagree with you guys, because I do think that this still looks cool, still looks modern. I like the center stack here. Yeah, a lot of buttons, but it looks cool and clean. I just like the materials and the feel of the buttons here. And of course, it doesn't look as modern as the new Volvos with the 9.3-inch Sensus touchscreen, but that doesn't mean that this looks old. And the TFT gauge cluster on this car, though not as big as the 12-inch you find in the 90 series, is really cool and really modern. I think it has a few functions here. If we go ahead and press the OK button, I just think it does still look cool and looks as modern as new BMWs, because this does not have map view. It does have navigation and guiding here in the center with arrows and stuff like that when you navigate, just like on a brand new BMW 5 Series, but it does lack map view. Other than that, I do like the interior. Sure, the steering wheel is a bit on the old side, but you know, the door design still looks modern and cool. Over here it's a bit boring. The seats do look contemporary Volvo, but I do think the center console looks cool, looks modern. But what do you guys think? Comment down below. If you disagree with me, come on, let me know down below. Guys, I do like this car. It does a lot of things good and a few things terrible, but I really do think that the positives outweigh the negatives. I think it's a good looking SUV still after 9 years, especially on these 20-inch wheels. I think it looks great. I think it's a good handling, a good riding, quiet and comfortable SUV, but more about the positives and negatives in a future video. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.